Hello everyone, I wanted to make a quick follow-up video to my last one about the animal eye autofocus on the a6400. You might have noticed that the example clips that I showed weren't that great quality, so I'd like to explain why. So the way that I chose to film that segment was to use the Imaging Edge app on my phone, and I connected that to my camera via the camera's Wi-Fi, and so it would stream the images to my camera. And then I used the screen recording function on my iPhone to record what was going on. Of course, there's some downsides to that. So number one, obviously the data transfer from the camera to the phone was clearly very slow and laggy. That's why the frame rates were not great and it was very choppy. So that was one obvious problem. So the other major problem with that setup was that you couldn't see what the camera was focusing on. I mean, you could see the camera go into focus on the cat's eyes, but you couldn't tell that that's what it was focusing on because you didn't have that green focusing square on the eyes. Now I realized that, of course, having an external recorder like an Atomos monitor would have helped, but I don't own one, so sorry. Anyway, I thought I would make a follow-up video using a different setup. This time I had my iPhone rigged up behind the camera to record the back screen of the a6400, and so that way the iPhone camera was capturing what the camera was seeing and showing all of the UI elements and specifically, where it was focusing on. And it didn't rely on the data transfer rates of the a6400's Wi-Fi. So it was overall just a much smoother image. The downside to that, of course, is that I'm using a camera to record a screen, so the image quality isn't the greatest, and there was a fair bit of glare off of that back screen of the a6400. So yeah, the image quality or the video quality wasn't that great, but that isn't really the point of the video. The point is to show how good the camera is at finding the animal's eye and choosing to focus on it. Anyway, here it is. I thought I'd show you some clips of how it works. So in filming this second video, I got to test out the animal eye autofocus feature a bit more. And what I found was that obviously, if the animal's moving around a lot, or there's a challenging lighting situation, there's not a lot of light. It's not perfect, okay, that's obvious. But the other thing that I didn't expect was that if your animal is sideways, for example, one of my cats was lying on her side, the camera failed to recognize that that was an animal and failed to choose to focus on its eye. It still nailed focus on the face region in general, but I think that was just because that was the closest object. It didn't use its eye autofocus feature in that particular scenario. And for those who are interested, for this second batch of tests, I didn't use my 85mm lens. This time I just used my 35mm f1.8 native Sony E-mount lens for this test. I basically just wanted to see how it worked with a different lens, that's all. So anyway, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.